Hello, this is Kevin Manieri, Senior Solutions Engineer at Phoenix Contact. In this video, I'd like to show you some of the debugging features that are part of Visu Plus Express. Now, there are a number of features, and I think it's best if you kind of group them in development features, meaning like in this development interface, how do I dig into things and debug some stuff from here? And then also runtime features of where we're looking into things in the runtime and debugging through the runtime. So let's start out with what we can do kind of in the offline mode when we're not running, and how do we check our projects before we deploy them. The first thing that I'll mention is the refactoring window. So that's this Refactoring Explorer here. If you don't have it, let's say you have it X'd out, you can access it by going to View, and then here's a bunch of other windows as well. And View Refactoring Explorer, and now we can see the Refactoring Explorer right here. So what this does is it actually compiles different parts of whatever you click on, and it tells you if it sees any errors. So for instance, if I click on this screen, it's going to compile it, and there's nothing in this list, which means it didn't see any issues, didn't find any problems in the alarm window. Now I intentionally made some problems in this examples one, so I'm going to click that and let's see what happens. All right, the Refactoring Explorer is letting us know, hey, you have a variable that you're trying to use. Maybe it's a dynamic or something like that. You're trying to set this variable, but I can't find it. It's saying it's not in my variable list over here in my database. So this variable doesn't exist. Maybe you typoed it. So it's a really easy way to find any typos in your variables. And it's telling you, hey, it's under the property visible for rectangle 4. Well, I don't know what that is. Let me double click it. And here you go. It opens up the dynamic property inspector. It's got you selected on rectangle 4, and my visibility dynamic, this bar XYZ, non-existent. So it tells you, hey, you should probably fix that. If I click on my screen again, I can click it here. If I click on the screen itself here, the Refactoring Explorer recompiles. There's also object rectangle 3 is not on the screen's boundaries and won't be visible in runtime. Well, that's this rectangle that I dragged and dragged it off of the screen. So when it's off the screen, it compiles and tells you it's not there. If I didn't realize that, I move it back. And now it tells you, hey, everything's back and we're in good shape. So we can delete the other error while we're at it, which was the visibility property and a non-existent variable there. So now, no more errors. Great. Now this works for screens, very, very useful. It also works for like many other components. So you can even have it look at things like your data loggers. So if I click on my data logger here, it tells me, hey, you're missing this variable from this column in your data logger. So I could go fix that. I could double click column. You don't even have to double click, just a single click is good. And here it is, this variable doesn't exist. I'm going to leave it so we can see this problem in online debugging as well. And matter of fact, I'm going to recreate this too, just in case we want to see a few other problems. So another random variable, we'll pull this guy off the screen again too. So we'll have some issues when we're running in runtime and see what we can notice then as well. Okay, I think that's the basics of this Refactoring Explorer. So you can click on most objects over here, and it will try and run a refactoring and see if it finds anything, see if it finds any issues. All right, in addition to the Refactoring Explorer, there's also a cross-reference window. So the cross-reference window is extremely useful if you are trying to figure out where a variable might be getting triggered or set. So if you go under real-time DB variables, if you right-click, you can hit compile cross-reference, and you should get this cross-reference window to appear here. I'm going to close out of the Refactoring Explorer. And so here's a list of all of the variables that are in my project. They're embedded inside of these folders right now, but here you can see them all. So let's say we're trying to find out where, I don't know, where high limit is being used. So you could just find it here and look, there it is. But let's say I had 1,000 tags here, so it's unreasonable to do that. You can use this filter option. And one important thing with all of the search features and filters, all of the search filters in Visu Plus, asterisks are wildcards. So I'm going to say I'm looking for high limit. If I just search high limit, I'll show you what happens first if I just search this. 5 filters, nothing. Why? Because there's nothing that's just called high limit. Now, if I put the asterisk in front of it and apply the filter, there we go. Now I've got, hey, give me any characters in front of it and have high limit inside at the end of it. And if I wanted to say, give me everything that has high in it. I do asterisks in front and behind, and now I can see this has high in it somewhere, and these other ones also have HI in them somewhere, machine HI, machine HI, so that's why they showed up as well. So that's how this filter works. It's also important to remember you can delete that, but the filter is still on, even if this is a white space, until I hit apply or hit remove filter. So I'll hit remove filter, and we're back here again to see everything on the page. All right, with the filter removed, we said, hey, let's see where is this variable being used. If you expand the plus sign here, you can see, oh, it's being used in this analog alarm bonus property, it's being used by this event, and it's being used by this edit box. And if you double click on any of these, it takes you right to where that thing is being used, so you can see what's happening. So the cross-reference window is very, very useful for finding where your variables are being used. In addition, it is also useful in finding variables that are not in use at all. So you can see here, the plus signs, all of those are being used somewhere. These ones with question marks are not being used in the project at all. Also, pay attention, or worth mentioning, these icons, whenever you see these icons, they're indicating the data type. So you can know this is a Boolean because of the 0, 1. This is a word data type because of the W. And so on and so forth. This is a float data type, right? This is an integer because it's got the word plus or minus. So that's what this is, in strings right here. Okay, I think that's enough about the cross-reference window. We get the idea. We can press any of these things and see where it's being used, and it opens it up to that screen and that object for us. Beyond the cross-reference window and the refactoring window, I'll mention briefly if you're doing scripts. I'm not going to go into much detail here, but here's just a silly little script that we've got going. And if you wanted to simulate it, you can use the Start Resume button to quickly run through your code and scan to see if you have any typos. For instance, let's make, let's do this. Like this one has even option explicit on there. So let's run this, and now it's telling me, hey, this exit background isn't defined anywhere. Right? It's expecting an existing scalar value. This exit background script isn't defined anywhere. So that's what this is. You can also set breakpoints, and you can step through your code and things like that as well. But yeah, that's the basics of the background script. Okay, or not the background script, but the script. Offline debugging tools. And then finally, I want to show you the logs folder. We'll get back to this more later, but I'm going to click at the project level and then my project path. And then when I hit these 3 dots, it opens up Windows Explorer right to my where my project is saved. And as you can see, when you save a project, there's tons of information that's associated with it. The thing that I wanted to take a look at here is inside of this logs folder. So I'm double clicking that. And there's a bunch of different logs that just, hey, when you run your project, it takes some logs and it notices anything that might be important. It mentions it. I usually look at this system log. It's pretty valuable. So just double click it, and you can see I ran this project way back in 2019, and it's telling me all of these different things that have happened. Hey, I'm trying to start these drivers. I started this driver. I had a communication error here. I exited the background script. That's something from the debug print. Hey, these variables aren't found. See some stuff from maybe earlier today. Yeah, it's telling me, hey, I can't find these variables in this data logger. So this is a very useful detailed log if you're looking for detailed information.